soon as I get back, she can stay. Do this all the time.
This ain't no surprise. Already check 1 2. Check 1 2.
I went to McDonald's this morning. Don't be mad at me, fellas.
It's a good choice.
That steak and egg and cheese is just different.
We're coming to you live from the McPherson Academic and Athletic Complex here on the beautiful campus of the University of Mount Union. You're tuned in to Mount Union women's basketball here on the live stream this afternoon as it's senior day here at the MAC as your Purple Raiders play host to the Capital Comets here today. Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Atsar. Alongside me is my partner Brennan Kearns. And Brennan, big day today. It's senior day. We're going to be honoring Gretchen Koken, Emma Cannon, as well as Madison Hensley here this afternoon. How big is it for the Raiders to snap their losing streak and come away with the victory on senior day?
Well, I think it's a pretty good opportunity for them to mess some things up for Capital, who's going to be competing for a spot in the OAC tournament. This team, not much to lose on senior night tonight. They've got a lot to gain by winning this game, a little bit of self-respect for themselves. So I think it's a pretty good step up for these three seniors tonight. And obviously we're going to be missing one of them, but the other two will prevail for sure.
That's for sure. We'll get right into it here. First, taking a look now at the Capital Comets. Capital comes into tonight's matchup 13-9 overall. They are 7-8 in OAC play so far. They are tied currently right now for 5th in the OAC standings with Wilmington, as they are just a game above John Carroll as well for a 7th spot. So really, Capital is playing for a lot here this afternoon for a spot in the OAC tournament. Their most recent matchup was a 53-39 victory this past Wednesday against Heidelberg, where Samari Perkins led the way with 14 points and 10 rebounds, while Bree O'Connor finished with 13 points as the team forced 37 turnovers in the victory, scoring 24 points off those turnovers, and they outscored the Student Princes by 11 in that second half. BK, some stats and some players to look out for here today for the Comets.
Well, they've got a very high-scoring offense. Bree O'Connor and Lainey Murphy, both high scorers. You mentioned Samari Perkins earlier, very high scorer. This team has a lot to do in the offensive end, so I think where they're going to really shine tonight is how well they're going to roll off screens and get down low to score the basketball. They're going to play a lot. They're going to have to play a lot of high quality defense tonight. This Mount Union team has the ability to score a lot of points, but if you hold them down and make tough shots, they're very beatable. So Capital going to look to score offensively. Their steals, we're talking about, very high defensive team as well. So we'll see a lot from them from the defensive side of the ball tonight too.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we'll now take a look here at the Mount Union Purple Raiders, who come into today's matchup 6-16 overall, 3-12 in OAC play. They're coming off a 56-44 loss to Marietta this past Wednesday, where Day Nash and Emma Cannon led the way with 8 points each. Nash also added 7 rebounds and 4 assists in the losing effort. The team did go about 10 game minutes without a basket, which proved to be costly in the loss, as the team also had 26 turnovers in the contest. BK, some players and some stats to look out for here this afternoon for the Raiders.
Well, obviously Emma Cannon's a big one, Allie Hudick, but we're missing Gretchen Koken tonight, which is a big loss for the Purple Raiders. But Day Nash doing it on both sides of the floor as well. We're going to be looking to see who's going to step up for this team offensively. They've been struggling lately. We're talking last game, when we called the last game 10 minutes without a bucket. It's a lot of time to not score. This Capital offense has got a high-powered offense, can score at will, so Mount Union really needs to push the pace when it comes to scoring, and we will see how well and how efficiently they can score the basketball with good looks.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Raiders are going to look to end their losing streak here tonight. 5 straight losses for the Raiders, but they will look to change that here this afternoon. Before we get tipped off here tonight, it is senior night, so we will be honoring our 3 seniors, Gretchen Koken, Emma Cannon, and Madison Hensley with the pregame festivities. First, we have Gretchen Koken. Koken is from Seneca Valley High School in Harmony, Pennsylvania. She's a psychology, and criminal justice double major. She's the daughter of Jennifer and Kevin Koken, as Gretchen has appeared in 37 career games for the Raiders, starting in 18 of those games. She's averaged 7 points per game for her career, along with 4.5 rebounds, and she's scored 258 career points for the Raiders. Gretchen, congratulations on a great career. She's obviously had a great season this year as well. It's great to see her being recognized here on senior night. And our next senior that will be honored here this afternoon will be Emma Cannon. Cannon is from Dalton High School in Dalton, Ohio, and she's a management and marketing double major. She's the daughter of Brenda and Mike Cannon. And Emma came to Mount Union via transfer. She originally was from Marietta College, where she appeared in 17 games as a freshman for the Pioneers. She transferred here her sophomore year, and she's had a great career at the University of Mount Union. She's appeared in 60 career games for the Raiders, all starts for Cannon as well. She's averaged 11.6 points per game and 5.1 rebounds per game throughout her Mount Union career, scoring 697 career points for the Raiders. And she, of course, was a first-team All-OAC selection last year as a junior, so congratulations once again to Emma. And our last senior to be honored here this afternoon will be Madison Hensley. Hensley's from Gahanna Lincoln High School in Blacklick, Ohio. She's a criminal justice major, and she's the daughter of Sarah and Mark Hensley. She's appeared in 63 career games for the Raiders with 36 starts. She's averaged 6.1 points per game throughout her Mount Union career, and she has scored 382 career points for the Raiders. So congratulations to Madison as well on a great career here at the University of Mount Union. And BK, it's great to see all three of our seniors right now getting honored here pregame.
Well, I can tell you it's going to be a very emotional game, your last one, especially in college. I remember mine in high school. I haven't quite got there in college yet. But, it's going to be a very emotional game for all three of them, even Gretchen not playing. So we're going to expect to see a lot from these three, and it's just honestly an honor. I would be a very emotional day for me.
Yeah, that's for sure, as Cannon, Koken, as well as Madison Hensley have really done a great job of laying the foundation for what really is a young Mount Union Purple Raiders squad this season. Definitely great role models for the team to look up to. Just a great career for all three of Gretchen Koken, Emma Cannon, and Madison Hensley. So once again, congratulations to those three. They'll be honored all throughout the day here on senior night. But we will take a short break here on the live stream for the national anthem. Then we'll be back for the starting lineups, my apologies, between your Mount Union Purple Raiders and the Capital Comets. And we are back here at the MAC getting you ready for this afternoon's matchup between your Mount Union Purple Raiders and the Capital Comets. We'll take a look at the starting lineups here this afternoon. First for Capital, they are led by second-year head coach Camille McPherson, and their starting lineup consists of the sophomore guard from Fredericksburg, Ohio, number 5, Lainey Murphy, the freshman forward from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 10, Samari Perkins, the senior guard from Plain City, Ohio, number 13, Demi Brewer, the sophomore guard from Beaver, Pennsylvania, number 21, Maddie Weiland, and lastly, rounding out the starting five is the sophomore guard from Hilliard, Ohio, number 23, Bree O'Connor. And now we will take a look at the starting lineup here this afternoon for your Mount Union Purple Raiders, who, as always, are led by 18th-year head coach Susie Vanette. And their starting lineup consists of the sophomore guard from Akron-Buckdale High School, number 0, Day-Day Nash, the senior guard from Dalton High School in Dalton, Ohio, number 5, Emma Cannon, the sophomore guard from Barberton High School in Barberton, Ohio, number 11, Haley Haywood, the freshman forward from Harrison Central High School in Cadiz, Ohio, number 12, Michaela Dunkel, and lastly, rounding out that starting five is the senior guard from Gahanna Lincoln High School in Blacklick, Ohio, number 22, Madison Hensley.
Pretty well-sized matchup here on the floor, and I think we're going to see a very big battle inside today.
Yeah, that's for sure, as Capital has done a great job controlling the paint so far this season. The Comets, again, competing for a spot in the OAC tournament. The Raiders trying to spoil that here this afternoon and snap the losing streak here on senior night. As the opening tip is underway, and Capital will have it, and we are underway here at the MAC. So it'll be Bree O'Connor averaging just under 17 points per game with it here for the Comets. She gives it up to a cutter in Lainey Murphy, and Murphy gets the scoring going here early. It's 2-0 Capital. And right out of the gates here, it's a press coming from the Comets. The Raiders are able to break it, however, though, as Dunkel passes it over cross court to Haywood. Extra pass over to Cannon, whose deep mid-range is good and ties things up to 2. So the Comets will come the other way now with it. So Connor once more here on the perimeter. She looks to drive, kicks it out to Perkins, who thought about the 3, now swings it over to Brewer. Brewer tried to get it down low inside to O'Connor, but a great steal there by Michaela Dunkel. It's Madison Hensley now for the Raiders. She pushes the pace, gives it up to Day Day Nash in the corner. Nash looks to drive, goes up with the floater and gets it to go, and Day Day makes it 4-2 Mount Union. Fast pace to start this one this afternoon, as Weiland will give this up on the perimeter to Murphy. Murphy gives it back over to Perkins. Perkins now takes a deep mid-range and gets it to go. 4-4 here at the MAC. Comets once again coming out here with the press. Hensley will give it up to Cannon. Cannon now over to Nash as the Raiders are able to get it past half court. Cross-court pass over to Hensley, who now gives it up to Cannon. Cannon looks to drive, goes up for the layup. Can't quite get it to go, but a nice strong take there by Emma Cannon. She draws the personal on Samari Perkins and is heading to the line for 2.
It's pretty clear today that she is locked in, trying to find her shots and get to her spots. I mean, just barely missed the and one. She's going to go to the line and hit both here.
That's for sure. As Emma Cannon, first team All-OAC last year. Again, like how we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, this is now her 61st career game for the Purple Raiders. All starts for Mount Union. It's been a great career here for Emma, as that first free throw is up and good, making it 5-4 Mount Union. And the second free throw is up and good as well. 6-4 Raiders. As Mount Union will apply some pressure now in the backcourt themselves. As Bree O'Connor now is defended here by Haley Haywood. O'Connor here will take a screen from Weiland. Now looks to drive, kicks it back out to Perkins, who steps into another mid-range and gets it to go once again. Samari Perkins ties things up at 6. Day Day Nash gives it up now. Haley Haywood. The Raiders break the press once more as Nash now looks to drive, goes up for the layup and gets it to go. It's 8-6 in favor of the Raiders. 3 for 3 to start out here tonight for Mount Union.
Oh, we talked about her first quick step in the pregame today, showing it off.
So here come the Comets, trying to tie things back up here once more. As Perkins now with it. She will swing this ball over to Demi Brewer, try to get it back down inside to Perkins, but it's taken away by the Raiders. Day Day Nash ahead of the pack here. Now gives it up to Haley Haywood. Back over to Nash. Tried to get it to a cutter in. Michaela Dunkel. Pass just a little bit too high. Goes out of bounds. Back to the Comets.
You can't even get mad at that. She right look just a little bit too high.
So a fast-paced start here this afternoon. Both teams 3 for 3 out of the gates, and Mount Union holding on to that 2-point advantage. It's Lainey Murphy. Demi Brewer now here with it. She gives it up to O'Connor. O'Connor now looks to drive on Cannon, now swings it out to Murphy, who steps into a 3 and knocks it down. Lainey Murphy makes it 9-8 Capital. So Day Day will have it now for the Raiders. She now gets it over to Emma Cannon, nearly taken away there by Bree O'Connor. As Cannon picks up her dribble on the perimeter. Great defense by O'Connor. As Michaela Dunkel now with it, she drives, kicks out to Hensley, who pump fakes, drives a nice Euro step into the lane, gets it to go. A great take by Madison Hensley. 10-9 Mount Union, as Lainey Murphy now with it. Defended here by Haywood. She swings this over to Weiland. Weiland steps into a 3. Can't get it to go. The first miss for either squad here this afternoon, as Emma Cannon has it now for the Raiders. Cannon will give this up to Madison Hensley. As Hensley now looks to drive into the paint. Hesitates, now goes up with the layup and gets it to go. 5 for 5 start here tonight for the Raiders. It's 12-9 Mount Union.
They are coming out hot.
It's great to see after the offensive struggles of late, as Bree O'Connor now looks to drive for the Comets at the other end. And a nice strong take. She draws the whistle here on Madison Hensley. Bree O'Connor heads to the line for 2. as we'll see some substitutions for both squads here this afternoon for the first time. It'll be number 31, Rainey Thigpen, checking in for the Comets. For the Raiders, they will have 4 substitutions. It's Audrey Livesay, Bailey Schutza, Allie Hudick, as well as Sierra Schlosser. First free throw is up and good for O'Connor. 12-10 Mountain Union here, 6:02 left to go in the first quarter. Second free throw is up and good as well. 12-11 in favor of the Raiders. So Schutza now with it. She will be defended closely here by Demi Brewer. Gives it up to Livesay. Livesay tried to get it to a cutter and Emma Cannon, but that's taken away by the Comets. Capital trying to regain the lead here now as Murphy looks to drive, goes up for the layup. It's blocked by Livesay, grabbed her own miss, couldn't get the putback to go. Rebound goes to Hudick. Schutza now will give it up to Livesay, tries to get it back to Schutza, but that pass is taken away by Thigpen. Samari Perkins now on the break, pulls it back here, gives it up to Brewer. Brewer will take a screen from Perkins, now swing it over to Thigpen. Thigpen now over to Murphy. Murphy looks to drive here on Emma Cannon, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Rebound, Audrey Livesay. So now Bailey Schutza pushes the pace, gives it up to Emma Cannon. Cannon hesitates, goes up with the spin move, a whistle, and we've got an offensive foul going on Cannon. That's going to be her first, team second. Ball heads back to the Comets.
That's a really tough call because she felt controlled, and I mean, not a lot of power into that spin, but you know, sometimes if she's set just in the right way, referee can call it.
So it'll be Bree O'Connor now, defended closely by Emma Cannon. She draws the double team on the perimeter, now gets it over to Perkins, cross court to Murphy, back over to Brewer, now down low inside they go to Samari Perkins, and great ball movement there. Samari Perkins is going to head to the line for 2 on the foul on Sierra Schlosser.
Really good D by Sierra Schlosser there, just, you know, she absorbed the contact and tried to finish, got the call.
So Jenna Horsley, the freshman from Asheville, Ohio, will check in for the first time this afternoon now for the Comets. Perkins' first free throw rims out. Score will remain 12-11 here. So the Raiders still yet to miss a shot at the offensive end. They are 5 for 5 to start the game. 4 for 7 are the Comets. Perkins' second free throw rims in. Ties the score up at 12 here with 4:50 left to go in the first quarter. So Schutza now with it for Mount Union. She gives it over to Hudick. Hudick now puts it on the floor, gives it up to a roller in. Schlosser. Schlosser's layup no good. Fight for the rebound. They'll say it's last off the Comets. Will remain Purple Raider basketball.
I'm seeing a lot of good things in this first quarter from the Raiders.
So Hudick will now inbound it to Schlosser. Now gives it back to Allie off the inbound. It's now Cannon with it. She looks to drive, kicks it out to Schutza. Livesay now with 6 seconds on the shot clock, gives it over to Cannon. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Cannon dribbles into a crowd, loses possession of the ball, and it's a shot clock violation here for Mount Union. Ball goes back to the Comets. So it'll be Demi Brewer now with it here. She will give it up to O'Connor. O'Connor will take a screen from Thigpen, now swings it over. Cross court they go. It's now Horsley. Back over they go now to O'Connor. O'Connor steps back into a 3, can't get it to go. Rebound to Hudick. Allie Hudick pushes the pace now, tries to get it out in front to Schutza. It's knocked out of bounds there by Brewer. Ball will remain here with the Raiders. Some substitutions once more for Mount Union. Lily Sweeney will see her first action here this afternoon as Madison Hensley and Day-Day Nash check back in for the Raiders. And for Capital, Maddie Weiland will check back in. So Hudick will inbound it here. And gives it back out to Sweeney. Sweeney now swings it over to Madison Hensley. Hensley steps into a deep 3. Too strong off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound to the Comets. Up ahead they go to Thigpen. Thigpen will now give it up to O'Connor. O'Connor takes a screen here from Thigpen, looks to drive a great extra pass out to Horsley for 3, and it's nothing but net. Great ball movement there as Jenna Horsley gets the 3 to go. 15-12 Comets. As Day-Day Nash tries to feed it down low inside to Sweeney. It's knocked out of bounds. This was last off Ali Hudick. And another referee will step in here as they'll talk things over. And they will correct the call, and I was going to say it did appear from up here at least that it was off a Capital defender, so I believe they got the call right there.
And that's why there's 3 referees on the floor.
That's for sure, as the Raiders will inbound it here with Michaela Dunkel checking back in for Mount Union. Nash inbounds it here to Sweeney, and off the inbound she fires up a 3, and it's nothing but net. Lily Sweeney from downtown ties things up at 15. It's Bree O'Connor now with it. Here on the perimeter, draws a double team momentarily, kicks it out to Perkins. Great ball movement here over to Horsley for the 3. Front of the rim, no good. Rebound to Dunkel. Dunkel tries to get it to Day-Day Nash in the backcourt. It's knocked out of bounds by Thigpen. Raiders nearly turn it over there, but they will maintain possession. So no pressure coming in the backcourt now from the Comets, as Dunkel will inbound it to Nash. Day-Day walks it across the Mount Union logo here. On the perimeter she goes, takes a screen from Dunkel. Now gives it up to Hudick on the perimeter. Nice pass down low inside to Dunkel. Dunkel has it taken away nearly here. That's a jump ball possession arrow in favor of Mount Union. They will maintain possession with 11 seconds on the shot clock.
My bad.
As Day-Day Nash here will inbound it. Gives it up to Hudick. Hudick, the extra pass over to Hensley. Hensley hesitates now with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Gives it over to Sweeney. Extra pass over to Hudick. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Hudick knocks it down. A great 3 there from Hudick. Makes it 18-15 Mount Union. So it'll be Bree O'Connor now at the other end. Fires up the mid-range, and that one gets the friendly roll off the rim and in. Makes it 18-17 Mount Union in this high-scoring first quarter. Nash will give it up to Sweeney. Now down low inside. They go to Hensley. Back up to Sweeney for another 3. Can't quite get that one to go. Rebound to the Comets. So Jenna Horsley now with it. She will take a screen here from Thigpen. Now swings it over to Brewer. Brewer takes a screen from Weiland. Picks up her dribble. Now swings it back over in the corner to Horsley. Now up top to O'Connor. O'Connor steps back into a 3. Too strong off the back of the rim, no good. Offensive rebound though to Thigpen. Her putback's no good. Rebound to Michaela Dunkel. Hudick now pushes the pace, gives it up to Sweeney in transition. Now back over up top, Day-Day Nash. Nash looks to drive here, tries to kick it out to Hensley. Madison will pass this over now to Dunkel. Dunkel cross court. She goes over to Hudick. Hudick pump fakes. Now looks to drive, gives it back over to Dunkel. 7 seconds on the shot clock as Nash steps into a mid-range that's short. Rebound to the Comets. Demi Brewer now with it. Gives it up in transition, down low, inside they go to Weiland, and a great extra pass out to Rainey Thigpen for 3, and Thigpen knocks it down, makes it 20-18 Capital with 55 seconds left to go in the quarter. So Madison Hensley now with it for the Purple Raiders. She gives it up to Ali Hudick. Back out to Hensley they go. Hensley fires up the mid-range and gets the friendly bounce off the rim and in, and ties things up at 20.
What a great shot instead of trying to drive into her. Just quick little pull-up.
So a quick whistle here at the other end. It's going to be a foul going on the Purple Raiders. I do believe they get Lily Sweeney on the call at that time as O'Connor was driving there for the Comets. And it is indeed on Sweeney for her first, team's 4th. The Raiders with a whole new 5 coming out here now. It's Bailey Schutza, Haley Haywood, Audrey Livesay, Sierra Schlosser, and Emma Cannon check back in for the Purple Raiders. Samari Perkins will check back in for Capital. Allie Ray will see her first action here this afternoon, and Lainey Murphy as well checks in for the Comets. Murphy now looks to drive here, lost her footing, tries to get up now, gives it up to Perkins. Ray now drives, kicks it over, as Horsley now with it. Down low inside they go to Perkins. Perkins with a nice step, can't quite get the layup to go. Rebound to Cannon. Raiders can hold it here for the last shot. So with 12 seconds left to go in the corner, it's a pass over to Audrey Livesay. Livesay now with 7 seconds on the shot clock, gives it up to Cannon. Cannon goes up for the layup, can't quite get it to go. Rebound to the Comets with 1 second left to go in the quarter. Murphy's half-court heave nearly drops, wouldn't have counted anyway. But a high-scoring first quarter right there. Mount Union and Capital all tied at 20 at the end of one. BK, your overall thoughts on that quarter?
I'm very impressed with Mount Union's offense right now. Not stagnant at all. They're moving the ball. They're getting good shots. They're hitting good shots. Same thing to go with Capital. Both teams, though, very reluctant on defense. I really like what both teams are doing right now. They're forcing the three ball. They're saying, we're going to make you hit it. If you want to beat us, you better be able to shoot it from deep. That's kind of how they're playing their screens. Capital's been doing a lot of things on offense. That's back screening towards the corner to the baseline, which is forcing opposite side defenders to drop down to the paint to help, which is allowing this backside corner three that they've hit twice now. So it's a very good strategy on both sides on defense, but they're just kind of not executing it, but executing on offense. So as of right now, it's 0-0 tie ball game, and you got 3 quarters to play. So I'm interested to see who's going to turn it up on defense, who might add a little press, shake the bush, if you will, and see where it's going to go.
Yeah, that's for sure. I love how you put it right there. It's 0-0 basically at the end of one after a high-scoring first quarter, as Capital shot 7 for 15 in that quarter, good for 46% overall. Mount Union 8 for 13, that's good for 61%. Raiders also hit 2 of their 4 3-point attempts, as Capital was 3 for 7 from the 3-point line. We saw 6 ties in that first quarter and 6 lead changes as well. It's been a great opening quarter here on senior night at the MAC. So Murphy will inbound it here to O'Connor to start this second quarter, as O'Connor will now give it up to Perkins. Now over to Murphy. Murphy takes the screen from Perkins and gives it up to her on the pick and pop. Perkins now looks to drive, a nice spin move, kicks it back out to Murphy, steps into a 3, can't get it to drop. Rebound Emma Cannon. Cannon pushes the pace here now for the Raiders, drives into the middle of the paint. A nice hesitation move, goes up for the layup and gets it to drop.
That was dirty. That was dirty.
Dirty indeed, got the defender off her feet, and it's now 22-20 Mount Union, as Cannon with 6 points here this afternoon. Horsley tries to get it over to Perkins. Great defense there by Schutza as she knocks that ball out of bounds. Will remain Capital basketball as Demi Brewer checks back in now for the Comets.
I think we're going to see Emma Cannon locked in all afternoon long.
That's for sure. She's definitely been locked in so far for the first quarter and a little bit here in the second quarter. Just a minute into the second period. It's now Murphy with it. She will give it up to Weiland. Weiland feeds it to Perkins. Perkins has it stripped away, however, by Schlosser. Great defense by the Raiders. Schutza now with it for Mount Union. She will give this up to Emma Cannon. Cannon takes a screen now from Schlosser. Now gives it up to Livesay. Around the perimeter they go to Haley Haywood here. Haywood now wide open, steps into a 3, can't quite get it to drop. Long rebound goes to Lainey Murphy. Demi Brewer now with it. She will give this up to O'Connor. O'Connor looks to put it on the floor here with great defense once again by Schutza. Gets into the middle of the paint, but it's taken away by Livesay. Livesay now ahead of the pack, gives it up to Schutza. Schutza feeds it now down low inside to Livesay, goes up with the hook shot and gets it to go. Audrey Livesay on the scoreboard now makes it 24-20 Mount Union. So Demi Brewer now with it. And Brewer will swing this over to Lainey Murphy. Murphy gives it up to Perkins. Perkins now swings it over to Brewer, who puts it on the floor, drives into the middle of the paint. Swings out to O'Connor. O'Connor looks to drive, goes up for the layup, and gets it to drop. Nice take right there by Bree O'Connor. So Raiders on top by 2 here, 24-22, as Emma Cannon now with it. She gives it up to Livesay. Livesay on the perimeter gives it up to a cutter, and Schlosser. Schlosser goes up for the layup, gets it to drop, and one indeed. Sierra Schlosser draws the personal on Maddie Weiland and heads to the line for one more.
Look at the freshman.
Look at the freshman indeed, as a beautiful pass right there by Audrey Livesay sets up Schlosser for the strong finish at the rim. She's got an opportunity for one more now at the line.
It's like you were saying earlier, you know, this team is very young. not a whole lot of vets that's going on. Only 3 seniors on this squad, but that's a really good thing that's coming up for the Mount Union Raiders in the future. Excuse me. So a very upbringing look for this basketball program.
That's for sure. Schlosser completes the three-point play, makes it 27-22 Mount Union. As the Raiders come with the double team here now. Cross court they go now over to Perkins. Samari Perkins will give it up to Demi Brewer. Now over to O'Connor. O'Connor swings it over to Laney Murphy. Murphy puts it on the floor, steps into a 3. Can't quite get that one to drop. Rebound, Day-Day Nash, who checks back in here for the Raiders at that last stoppage in play. Nash will now give it up to Emma Cannon. As Cannon slows things down for the Purple Raiders. Now gives it up to Haywood. Haywood, entry feed down low inside to Livesay. Livesay lost control, however, right there and turns it over to O'Connor. So the Comets look to cut into this deficit here. The Raiders on top by 5 in this one. As Brewer tries to feed it down low inside to Perkins, but Perkins is going to be whistled there for the offensive foul. It's going to be her second personal foul, second team foul of the quarter. Be Mount Union basketball. So Michaela Dunkel and Allie Hudick check back in here for Mount Union. As Day-Day walks it up the floor now for the Purple Raiders. She gives it up to Emma Cannon. Cannon will now take a screen from Michaela Dunkel, swings it over to Schlosser. Extra pass over to Hudick. Hudick feeds it down low inside to Dunkel, and great ball movement there. Michaela Dunkel to the rim for 2. A timeout here for the Comets. The Raiders have opened this second quarter on a 9-2 scoring run.
And really just outstanding by this Mount Union team. They're putting up more points tonight than they have in previous games coming up to halftime. Their offense is not stagnant tonight. They're all moving. They're all playing with a lot of energy. They're hitting shots. They're finding the bigs down low, kicking it back out for 3s. They're playing a lot of team basketball right now, minimizing mistakes, not making a lot of turnovers, pushing it in transition, doing the things that we know this Mount Union team could do all year, just hasn't really executed on. And we're seeing a lot of that tonight. As it's going for Capital, they need to figure out what Mount Union's doing to get these bigs down low, because that's what's forcing all these open looks for them. And Mount Union's almost had 3-and-1s because of late arriving defenders to the basket. So that's something that Capital needs to minimize on defense and really figure out how are we going to stop this and force Mount Union, who is not necessarily known to be a fantastic shooting outside team, to force them to beat them with the long ball. That's where my head's at if I'm coach.
Yeah, that's for sure, and couldn't agree with you more right there. The Raiders continue their hot start here tonight. They're 12 for 18 now from the floor. That's good for 66%. 2 for 5 from the three-point line, 40%, which is above Mount Union's season average. But I would agree, if you're Capital, if you start to force some outside shots, maybe something could happen. So far, the Raiders have really done a nice job controlling the paint on the offensive side of the ball today. So the Raiders will apply some pressure now in the backcourt. Out of the timeout as Demi Brewer walks it up the floor now for Capital. As Rainey Thigpen checked back in for Capital at that last stoppage in play. A pass to a cutter in Bree O'Connor is wide right there. So the ball will go back to the Purple Raiders. A turnover out of the timeout. So Day-Day will walk it up the floor now for the Purple Raiders once more. Gives it up to Hudick. Hudick now takes a screen from Michaela Dunkel, swings it over to Madison Hensley. Hensley will now kick it over to Emma Cannon. Cannon now swings it back up top to Hensley. They go around now to Day-Day Nash. Nash feeds it down low inside to Dunkel, draws the double team, now kicks it out to Nash. Nash tries to get it back to Dunkel once more. It's Madison Hensley now with 5 seconds on the shot clock. She looks to drive with 3 seconds on the shot clock, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Rebound Bree O'Connor, and O'Connor's going to get fouled here by Michaela Dunkel. It'll be Dunkel's first personal foul, first team foul of the quarter. So 5:50 left to go in this first half. Mount Union holding on to their largest lead of the afternoon on top, 29-22 in this one. As Thigpen will swing this over to Laney Murphy. Murphy will now take a screen from Thigpen. Now gives it up to Weiland, who steps into a 3, and Weiland, nothing but net right there, makes it 29-25. Day-Day Nash now with it. She gives it up to Michaela Dunkel. Dunkel on the perimeter. puts it on the floor, tries to give it up to Madison Hensley down low, but it's taken away by Brewer. Demi Brewer now looks to push the pace for the Comets, gives it up to Weiland, who steps into another three. This time it's short. Out of bounds it goes back to the Raiders. So Day will walk it up the floor here now for Mount Union. Gives it up to Madison Hensley. A correction, Ali Hudick, and Hudick will now give it up to Hensley. Now over to Dunkel. They go to Emma Cannon. Cannon will now give it up to Hudick, who tries to feed it down low inside to Dunkel. Comets are ready for that one, and they come up with the steal. So Demi Brewer now with it. She'll get up to O'Connor. O'Connor hesitates, drives, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Strong rebound there from Emma Cannon. So Emma Cannon will now give it up to Madison Hensley. Hensley now swings it over to Ali Hudick. Hudick now gives it up to Dunkel. Michaela Dunkel defended closely here on the perimeter by Thigpen. She looks to drive into the paint. Kicks it out to a wide open Madison Hensley for three. Knocks it down. Madison Hensley from downtown. So the seniors have come to play here tonight on senior night as Madison Hensley makes it 32-25 in favor of the Raiders. So around the perimeter they go now to Demi Brewer. Now up top, back to Bree O'Connor. O'Connor looks to drive here on Emma Cannon, gets into the paint, now swings it out to Brewer, who steps into a three, can't get it to go. Rebound, Ali Hudick. Hudick will now give this up in transition to Cannon, who steps into a three, and she knocks it down. Emma Cannon makes it 35-25 Raiders.
She's not letting her senior night go without some fire.
That's for sure. As at the other end, it's a foul on Madison Hensley that will send Maddie Weiland to the free throw line for two, but Madison Hensley and Emma Cannon here on senior night, now both with 9 points each.
I was going to say it's going to be a very emotional game for the both of them, and there's going to be a lot of heart, a lot of energy. This is a night they've been thinking about for 4 years now. So
that's for sure. As Weiland heads to the line here for two, Samari Perkins checks back in for the Comets. Weiland's first free throw is up and good for the Raiders. Sierra Schlosser, Haley Haywood, Audrey Livesay, Bailey Schutza all check back in for Mount Union as Emma Cannon remains the lone Raider out there on the floor after that last stoppage in play. 2 for 2 from the free throw line for Maddie Weiland. 35-27 Purple Raiders. As Schutza now with it. On the perimeter, she gives it up to Sierra Schlosser. Schlosser cross court now over to Haley Haywood. Gives it up now to Audrey Livesay. Fires up a shot from the elbow and knocks it down. And Livesay makes it 37-27 Mount Union.
There's something in the air with this Purple Raider team tonight. This afternoon, I should say.
That's for sure as the Raiders continue their hot start here in this first half. As Murphy will step into a three at the other end and gets it to drop. 37-30 is Murphy now with 8 points in this one. Haley Haywood now with it for the Raiders. She gives it up to Emma Cannon. Cannon looks to drive, steps back, kicks it out to Livesay, who steps into a three. Can't quite get that one to drop. Rebound to the Comets. Brewer now with it. She gives it up to Murphy in transition. Thought about the three, now gives it up to O'Connor. O'Connor now steps into a three, and it's nothing but net. 6 quick points there for the Comets. Will send Susie Burnett into a timeout. They'll talk things over. Mount Union's 10-point lead is now evaporated down to 4, 37-33.
I mean, this is something you knew could happen and very well will happen. Basketball's a game of runs, and you got to keep your run going and stop theirs when theirs is at an all-time high, especially when they're pushing like they are, 6 straight without you scoring one. This is where Mount Union really struggles. So, as coach, it's time to keep scoring. It's time to keep scoring. Maybe put on a press, let them start making some mistakes. You know, you got 2 minutes till you're running into the half. It would be great to run in with some momentum. Right now, Capitals kind of got a little push going, so. Really a big thing to stop the three ball because both teams right now are shooting at a very high percentages, both in the high 40s, Mount Union 50 for the three-point percentage. So both teams came to play tonight, and almost 40 points for both teams before the half. So definitely defense is going to be the name of the game going into the locker room.
Yeah, that's for sure. Capital has really relied, like how you said, on the three ball to keep themselves in this game. Now 6 3-pointers hit by the Comets so far in this one this afternoon. As Haley Haywood now with it out of the timeout, she gives it up to Schlosser. Schlosser now swings it over to Emma Cannon. This Cannon now puts it on the floor here and gives it up to Haywood. Haywood will now swing it over to Audrey Livesay on the perimeter, who gives it up to Shutza. 7 seconds on the shot clock here now as they try to feed it down low inside to Livesay. They get it to her here now with 2 seconds on the shot clock. It's Shutza who goes up for the layup. Can't quite get it to go. Rebound to the Comets. So Bree O'Connor will have it now for Capital. So Comets try to cut into this lead a little bit more here now in the midst of that 6-0 run. Down low inside they go to Samari Perkins. Perkins will now pick up her dribble, give it up to O'Connor. Gives it up to Weiland. Weiland kicks out to Murphy, who pump fakes, drives, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Rebound to O'Connor. 3 seconds on the shot clock here. Up to Demi Brewer, steps into a three, can't get it to go. Laney Murphy comes up with the offensive rebound. And Murphy will now give it up to Weiland, whose fadeaway is no good right there. Rebound to the Purple Raiders. It's Emma Cannon now with it. Takes a screen from Livesay, gives it up to her on the roll, and Audrey Livesay with a strong finish makes it 39-33. Demi Brewer now with it. She'll take a screen from Weiland, now gives it up to Perkins. Around the perimeter they go to O'Connor. O'Connor now steps back, shoots a three, and gets it to go. Bree O'Connor, another three-pointer, makes it 39-36.
Better guard 2-3.
That's for sure here as Shutza will inbound it to Schlosser. The Raiders will walk it up the floor now with 44 seconds left to go in this first half. Shutza will give it up to Emma Cannon. Cannon swings it over to Schlosser. Schlosser gives it back over to Cannon. Cannon thought about the three. Now puts it on the floor here with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Schlosser gives it back to Cannon on the roll. Cannon goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Rebound to Perkins. Shot clock turned off here for the Comets. 16 seconds left to go in the half. As Bree O'Connor, with 12 points in this first half, has the ball at the Mount Union logo. So O'Connor now with 7 seconds looks to go to work. Looks to drive here on Emma Cannon, goes up for the layup. Great defense by Shutza, forces the turnover, and that's how the first half will end here at the MAC. A high-scoring affair. Drew Mount Union Purple Raiders holding on to a 39-36 advantage here at the halftime break. Brennan, your overall thoughts on that first half?
I can tell you one thing. You can tell both teams were trying to make adjustments to what the other team's doing well. I'm watching Capital collapse with almost 4 defenders to Livesay when they're kicking it into her through the pick and roll. So Capital clearly trying to defend the paint a lot more, and you're seeing Mount Union stay out in that spread when they're kind of in that 4 out, 1 in. They're keeping on the 3 ball because Capital's been hitting it this afternoon. Really what I think we're going to see come out of halftime is both teams, or at least one of the teams, come out in the press. The other team's going to try to make the other team uncomfortable. We're really going to see a lot of high pressure, maybe picking up at the timeline. Just something in general from both coaches that we're going to see to just disrupt what the other team's doing well. And I think that's going to come with a lot of high pressures. I think it's going to come with some double teams off screen and rolls. I think we're going to see both coaches dive into their bag of tricks, see what they can do to throw the other team's offensive game on, because there's almost 40 points put up by both. So clearly, I mean, obviously both teams on, but both teams not really playing the best of defense either.
Yeah, that's for sure. A very high-scoring affair here in this first half, as Capital shot 42% overall from the floor. They also drained 7 threes in that first half at a 43% clip. Mount Union, 61% shooting at the halftime break, 50% from the three-point line. Bree O'Connor leads all scorers here this afternoon for the Comets with 12 points. Seniors Madison Hensley and Emma Cannon lead the way for the Raiders with 9 points each here at the halftime break. We're going to take a short break here on the live stream and then be back for second half action between your Mount Union Purple Raiders and the Capital Comets. And we are back here at the MAC getting you ready for second half action between your Mount Union Purple Raiders and the Capital Comets. A high-scoring affair in that first half as your Mount Union Purple Raiders on top 39-36 here at the halftime break. Hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Jacob Attar. Alongside me is my partner, Brennan Kearns. And Brendan, a lot of scoring in that first half. We kind of touched on it really right at the halftime break that both teams will really need to pick up the pace defensively. Really, what does Mount Union have to continue to do other than, of course, kind of clamp it down on defense to really keep the momentum going in this second half? And what does Capital have to do to get back in this game and really regain the lead?
Well, I just want to start off by saying it's such an evenly matched game. 35-35 possessions, very similar scoring percentages, very similar shooting percentages. So one thing that you want to look for Mount Union, they are outscoring Capital 20-4 in the paint, which has been something that Capital has clearly tried to adjust to, and we'll probably see a big adjustment coming through the second half. So something that I'm going to say Mount Union needs to do better in this second half, or maybe do more of, not necessarily better, is shoot from the outside of the mid-range, because Capital is definitely going to be doing something, whether it's coming down on screens, double teaming guards to make it harder to get to the entry passes. They're going to be doing a lot to try to shut down the paint and make Mount Union shoot the ball. Something Capital obviously needs to do better is defend the paint, in which they probably will this half. I think we're going to see some press from Capital to speed up this Mount Union offense, who can be prone sometimes to make unprecedented turnovers. That's something I think we're going to see from Capital. I think Capital needs to keep doing what they're doing, shooting the ball, maybe try a little bit more inside, although Mount's defense has been really solid. So, like I said, a very well-rounded, fundamental, all-around game from both sides and both teams. And so I think this game's going to very much come down to the coaching aspect of who kind of has the better game plan, or who's going to kind of adjust better to the different things they're doing on offense and defensively. Defensively is probably the bigger one in this scenario. Much higher scoring game than we're used to, and so with that being said, a zone, a press, a trap defense, I think we're going to see a lot of tricks up both coaches' sleeves this half, and it's definitely going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely an interesting one indeed. Like how you mentioned, really there, a very even game so far in this one. Lots of lead changes, lots of ties. Something's got to give here in this second half. We'll see if the Raiders can hang on here and snap their 5-game losing streak here on senior night, as our two seniors, Emma Cannon and Madison Hensley, each with 9 points in that first half to lead the Raiders. Gretchen Koken also honored here pregame for her contributions here on senior night, as play resumes here with Day-Day Nash having possession for the Raiders. Nash will give it up to Emma Cannon on the perimeter. Cannon now takes a screen from Michaela Dunkel, now gives it up to Madison Hensley. Hensley will now swing it over to Haley Haywood, who feeds it down low inside to Dunkel, as the Comets are ready for that one. Nearly come away with the steal, but instead that ball goes out of bounds. Will remain Mount Union basketball with 13 seconds on the shot clock.
We're already seeing the screen adjustment with the switch and a backside defender drop down to the block.
Day-Day Nash looks to inbound it here. She gives it up to Haley Haywood. Haywood will now give it up to Madison Hensley. 8 seconds on the shot clock as Hensley kicks it out to Nash. Nash now looks to drive, goes up for the layup, and gets it to go. A nice strong take by Day-Day. So the Raiders will make it 41-36 with the first 2 points of this second half going to Day-Day Nash. As Bree O'Connor now looks to drive, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Rebound Emma Cannon. As Cannon will look to push the pace here for the Raiders, who are on a 5-on-3 break. Capital does recover, however, as Cannon will now swing it out to Nash, who steps into a 3. Can't get that one to drop. Ball's tipped out of bounds. They'll say it's last off Haley Haywood and heads back to the Comets. Or correction, they'll actually say it's a foul on Madison Hensley. Wasn't sure about that one right there, as Hensley gets called for her third personal foul, first team foul of the quarter.
Interesting.
It almost didn't look like from up here that they gestured, but nonetheless, Hensley does pick up the personal as Perkins turns the ball over here at the other end. Hensley is ahead of the pack on the fast break, going coast to coast for the layup, goes up for the layup, a whistle, and it's a traveling violation going on Hensley. Ball goes right back to the Comets.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you're going to Euro that you don't gather step before you go into the 1-2. It's a very common travel call.
That's for sure. As Hensley will take a seat with those 3 fouls. Sierra Schlosser checks back in now for the Purple Raiders. So it'll be Demi Brewer now with it. Takes a screen from O'Connor, now swings it over to Perkins. Perkins gives it up to Weiland. Weiland will now put it on the floor here. Looks to drive, kicks it back out to Murphy. Back over to Weiland, who puts it on the floor once more. Drives baseline, goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Emma Cannon corrals the rebound for the Raiders and keeps it in bounds. Great job there by Emma. As Day Nash will bring it up the floor now for the Purple Raiders. Nash now swings it over to Haley Haywood. Haywood will swing it over to Emma Cannon. Cannon now gives it up to Schlosser. Schlosser steps into a wide open three and knocks it down. Sierra Schlosser makes it 44-36.
The freshman.
The freshman with 6 points off the Mount Union bench as Murphy fires up a mid-range, can't get it to go. Rebound to Haley Haywood. Haywood now gives it up to Michaela Dunkel in transition, who goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Great offensive rebound by Haywood, who gives it up to Nash. Can't get the layup to go, and a whistle. And Day Nash is going to be called here for the personal. It's going to be her first personal foul, second team foul of the quarter. And Capital will have possession here as Audrey Livesay and Allie Hudick check back in now for the Purple Raiders. And as for Capital, it'll be number 30, Jenna Horsley, re-entering the contest.
That's 2 fouls now I haven't seen. I don't know if they happened because I physically was looking elsewhere when they were called.
So it'll be Demi Brewer now with it. She gives it up to Horsley. Horsley puts it on the floor, fires up the mid-range, can't quite get it to go. Rebound, Day Nash. Nash pushes the pace here once more for the Raiders. Now gives it up to Livesay. Livesay picks up her dribble, gives it up to Hudick. Now back over Emma Cannon. Cannon now on the wing, puts it on the floor. Now fires up contested mid-range and gets it to go. Emma Cannon, 11 points now for the Raiders. 46-36 Mountain Union. They regain that 10-point advantage as O'Connor now steps back, looks to drive, kicks out to Brewer, extra pass over in the corner to Murphy. Now over to Perkins. Perkins gives it up to a cutter and Brewer. Great ball movement here. Back out to O'Connor for 3 and gets the bounce off the rim. And Brewer O'Connor, 15 points now, makes it 46-39.
Yeah, if you want to win this game, that's somebody you are really going to have to stop down the stretch.
It's one of the top scorers in the OAC, showing why here this afternoon as Hudick gives it up to Livesay. Livesay kicks out to Schlosser, steps into a 3, can't quite get that one to drop. Rebound to Murphy. Great anticipation though by Hudick, who comes away with the steal, a whistle, and we've got a foul on the floor. She got the layup to drop, but they'll say the foul occurred before the shot. Foul's going on Bree O'Connor. First personal foul. First team foul of the quarter. Raiders will have it out of bounds.
I was going to say they added that foul total to Mount Union instead of Capital.
Yeah, a little bit of a change there on the scoreboard, as Day Nash will take a seat here now for Mount Union. Bailey Schutza checks back in for the Purple Raiders. And checking in now for the Comets, seeing her first action here this afternoon, will be number 34, Maddie Dogood. As a whistle here, and we've got a foul going on Bree O'Connor once again. O'Connor pushes Emma Cannon nearly out of bounds right there. It's going to be O'Connor's second foul that she picks up in about a 20-second span here. Second team foul of the quarter.
That one was kind of just not smart at all. You can clearly tell she was kind of leaning up to the out of bounds. You give her a little bit, you give the referee a little bit more reason to give it a call.
It's here off the inbound. Schutza will give it up to Cannon. Cannon now on the perimeter. Will look to drive on O'Connor. Now swings it over to Schutza. Schutza looks to drive. Kicks it out to Schlosser. Now over around the perimeter they go to Hudick. Hudick steps into a 3. Too strong at the back of the rim. Loose ball here. Raiders are on the floor with it. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Comets, but nice hustle there by Schutza and Schlosser.
Now really a lot of energy coming from both sides right now. This game's going to be down to the wire.
Lainey Murphy will inbound it here now to Demi Brewer. Brewer will be defended by Schutza. And Brewer picks up her dribble, gives it up to Dogood. Dogood now looks to drive, goes up for the layup and gets it to go. And right off the bench, Maddie Dogood makes it 46-41 Mount Union. So it'll be Bailey Schutza now with it for the Purple Raiders. She gives it up to Allie Hudick. Hudick takes the screen now from Livesay. That gives it up to Schlosser. Schlosser swings it around to Emma Cannon. Cannon will now look to drive, picks up her dribble, gives it up to Livesay, now over to Schutza. Schutza gives it up to Emma Cannon. Cannon backs down, goes up for the shot. Can't quite get it to go, but draws the personal here as that foul is going on Jenna Horsley. It'll be Horsley's first, team's third. And Emma Cannon back to the line now for two as Michaela Dunkel and Haley Haywood check back in for the Raiders.
I'll say this, Emma Cannon is here to make a statement tonight. She's been aggressive on offense and defense, grabbing rebounds, putting up shots. I mean, I really thought we were about to see a MJ fadeaway coming there, but I mean the up and under, she's got it. She's had people jumping all night long, so be an interesting finish to the third, and definitely a interesting finish to the fourth here coming up.
That's for sure, as Cannon knocks down the first free throw and knocks down the second. So Emma Cannon now with 13 points in this one. She leads all Mount Union scorers. 48-41 Raiders here with about 5:14 left to go in this third quarter. Lainey Murphy now with it. Gives it up to a cutter in Bree O'Connor. Now swings it back out to Demi Brewer. Brewer will give this up to Horsley. Horsley puts it on the floor, gives it up in the high post to Dogood. Back out to O'Connor once more. O'Connor now looks to drive baseline, goes up with the floater, can't get it to go, but a late whistle here. It's going to be a foul going on Bailey Schutza, her first, team's third, sending Bree O'Connor to the free throw line.
I don't know about you, I'm denying Bree O'Connor the ball the rest of the game. I'm making it so hard for her to even get the ball, and when she does, I'm doubling her to get it out. Force somebody else to score. That's how I'm looking at this.
So Connor knocks down the first free throw, makes it 48-42 in favor of the Purple Raiders. O'Connor's second free throw is up and good as well, makes it 48-43. O'Connor comes into today's matchup the leading scorer in the OAC at 16.8 points per game, showing that Y here this afternoon with 17 now for the Comets. As Emma Cannon takes a screen from Michaela Dunkel, now gives it up to Haley Haywood. Haywood feeds it down low inside to Michaela Dunkel. Dunkel now pulls it back out, gives it out to Hudick. Hudick now with 7 seconds on the shot clock, fires up contested mid-range, and it's nothing but net. It's 50-43 Mount Union. O'Connor now looks to push the pace, swings it out to Horsley, who steps into a three, can't get it to drop. Rebound by Allie Hudick, and Hudick will draw the whistle here as well. That foul going on Lainey Murphy for her first, team's fourth. Raiders will have possession. So Hudick will inbound it here to Schutza. Schutza now will give it up to Emma Cannon. Cannon takes a screen from Haley Haywood. Now swings it on over to Dunkel. Now back over to Hudick on the perimeter. She gives it up now to Emma Cannon. Cannon looks to drive baseline, and she draws the whistle here. This foul is going on Lainey Murphy for her second. It'll be a penalty situation now for the Raiders, which will send Emma Cannon to the line.
Been a very chippy third quarter for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Not a lot of fouls called in that first half, but definitely the refs are seeing it differently so far in this second half, as Cannon's first free throw is up and good.
I mean, you can definitely tell the tenacity of the game has changed too. Both teams, you know, it's the second half now, a little bit more effort, a little bit more on the line now. Capital down right now, so they're scrapping a little bit, playing a little rougher.
As Cannon can't knock down the second free throw, score will remain 51-43 Mount Union. As Demi Brewer now with it. Brewer gives it up on the perimeter to Murphy. Murphy takes a screen now. Gives it up to Dogood as around the perimeter they go now to O'Connor. O'Connor defended here by Emma Cannon, as the Comets will move the ball around the perimeter here once more. It's Weiland now who looks to drive, and another whistle. This time it's going to be a foul going on Allie Hudick for her first, team's fourth. Be out of bounds here for the Comets. 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Not a lot of wiggle room to play some aggressive defense, so if you're looking in foul trouble right now, it's hands to your side, that's for sure. Not something that you're looking forward to, especially if you're looking at Bree O'Connor with those two fouls right now. You don't want to push anything to your luck.
That's for sure, as Day-Day Nash and Lily Sweeney will check in here now for the Purple Raiders. And checking back in for the Comets will be Rainey Thigpen. So Maddie Weiland also checked in at one of the most recent stoppages in play as well, as O'Connor now looks to drive on Nash. Nice defense here though by Day Day as O'Connor steps back for a mid-range, gets it to drop. 51-45 Mount Union.
It's great defense, just better offense.
So Day Day now with it for the Purple Raiders. She gives it up to Hudik. Thought about the three, now swings it back over to Nash. Nash puts it on the floor, kicks it out to Dunkel. Now over to Hudik. Hudik gives it up to Nash down low inside, who goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. And that ball was last touched there by the Comets, so the Raiders will maintain possession here now. It's 3:08 left to go in this third quarter. The Raiders have 20 seconds on the shot clock, holding on to that 6-point advantage. Hudik will inbound it here to Haywood. Haywood off the inbounds, can't get the layup to go. Follows her own miss, however, goes up for the layup and gets it to go, and Haley Haywood makes it 53-45. It's Haywood's first 2 points here on the afternoon as Weiland walks it up the floor now for the Comets. Weiland will give us up to Dugood. Dugood kicks it out to O'Connor. O'Connor now looks to drive, goes into the middle of the defense, can't get the layup to go. Rebound Day Day Nash. Raiders looking to push the pace here now as Haywood kicks it back out to Nash, steps into a three, can't quite get that one to drop. Rebound Dugood. Lainey Murphy coming the other way now with it for the Comets. She gives this one on up on the perimeter to Weiland. Down low inside they go now to Thigpen. Thigpen goes up for the layup, can't get it to go. Too strong. Rebound to Hudik. Hudik tried to get that over to Michaela Dunkel. It's tipped momentarily, but Dunkel does indeed come away with the possession. Dunkel now gives it up to an open Hudik, who fires at the mid-range, can't quite get it to drop. Rebound to the Comets. Weiland now looks to push the pace, but a timeout here in transition as the Comets will take a timeout here. Talk things over as they trail 53-45 in this one with 1:56 left to go in the third quarter.
I'm over here thinking to myself right now, what could be the recipe to, like, what could be the recipe for the gas pedal for Mount Union right now? Because they keep inching 8-10 back down to 3-4, putting it back up 8-10, 12, dropping back. So I think in my opinion, if you are going to go up 10 points, start applying a little pressure. Put on a little press, make them go a lot faster than they really want to go, because that's something that's going to switch up, or all of a sudden throw a 2-3 at them for 3 possessions. Maybe get something in transition. Then you're up 12-15. At that point, then they're starting to really scrap. They're going to be fouled. They're going to be jacking up threes. I feel like that's the recipe to push that gas pedal just a little bit further.
That's for sure. Samari Perkins checks back in now for the Comets. Hallie Ignacio will see her first action this afternoon for the Raiders. Madison Hensley and Emma Canning check back in as well. As out of the timeout, it's Murphy who steps into a three, can't get it to drop. Rebound to Hensley. Hensley brings it up now for the Raiders, gives it up to Emma Cannon. Cannon thought about the three, now puts it on the floor here. Gives it up to Nash. Nash now on the perimeter. Picks up her dribble, gives it up to Livesay. Livesay now over to Ignacio. Ignacio now will give it up to Emma Cannon. Cannon steps into a mid-range and gets it to drop. Emma Cannon makes it 55-45.
She has been locked in all game long. She might have 2 misses, if that.
16 points now for Cannon as Murphy steps into a three that's too long into the hands of Madison Hensley. Hensley once again pushes the pace here for the Raiders. She gives it up to Livesay. Livesay tries to find a cutter in Emma Cannon. That one's nearly taken away by the Comets. We have a whistle, and I do believe this is a foul going on Capital. And it will indeed. It's a loose ball foul going on Bree O'Connor, her 3rd personal foul. The penalty situation will send Day Day Nash to the line for 2. So Day Day's first free throw is up, and it is good. 56-45 Mount Union, 56 seconds left to go now in the quarter. Nash's second free throw is up and good as well. 8 points now for Day Day. 57-45 Raiders with their largest advantage in this one here this afternoon. O'Connor loses the handle here, a whistle. And I believe it's a clock malfunction, as it didn't appear that the clock started when O'Connor was taking the ball up. And the referees are going to talk things over here as they send both teams over to their benches.
Are they trying to figure out shot clock, or are they trying to figure out actual clock?
I think it was a combination of both. It appeared when O'Connor got the inbounds that the clock did not start. And then interestingly enough, when they'd whistled the play dead, the clock continued to roll for about a second after. So we'll see what they decide to do. They're going to take one more second off the clock. There was originally 53.8 on the clock. Now there's 52.7. There was 27 seconds on the shot clock. Now there's 26. So just about a second difference. So Laney Murphy's going to inbound it here now for the Comets. It's Bree O'Connor now with it. O'Connor will give it up to Murphy. Murphy now takes a screen from Perkins, draws the double team. Great double team right there by Nash and Livesay. Livesay comes over once again with the double team, but a whistle here. It's going to be a foul on Hallie Ignacio. And for Ignacio, that's her first, team's fifth. That sends O'Connor to the free throw line now for two with 41 seconds left to go in the quarter. So Demi Brewer checks back in now for Capital. Bree O'Connor, she's got 19 points so far in this one. Like how we mentioned, the OAC's leading scorer coming into tonight's matchup, 16.8 points per game. Knocks down the first free throw, makes it 57-46. O'Connor's second free throw is no good. Rebound to Emma Cannon. Cannon looks to push the pace. The Raiders can go 2 for 1 here if they're quick enough. As Nash now looks to drive baseline, goes up for it. Gets it to going in, one indeed. What a take by Day-Day Nash as Samari Perkins gets whistled for the foul.
We talk about that quick first step a whole lot, and it really showed there. The whole defense tried to collapse, so she's just there too fast.
What a job there by Day-Day Nash as she drives baseline and has a strong finish, completes the three-point play. It's 60-46 in favor of the Raiders, their largest advantage in this one.
Here's that gas pedal we're talking about.
Demi Brewer now swinging around the Thigpen. Thigpen now over to Weiland. Weiland gives it up to Perkins. Perkins down low inside to Thigpen. She goes up for the layup, gets it to drop. 60-48 Mount Union, 11 seconds left to go in the quarter. Day-Day Nash will push the pace now for Mount Union. 7 seconds as she takes a screen from Livesay, stumbles momentarily, now gives it up to Cannon. Cannon fires up a three, can't quite get it to go. Day-Day Nash's putback is no good, but a strong third quarter for the Purple Raiders. They outscore Capital 21-12 in the period, and are on top 60-48 going into that fourth and final frame. BK, great quarter there for the Raiders. Your overall thoughts on that quarter?
Well, you know, we were talking about in the halftime how this game's been so even all game long, and now we're looking at some statistics, and Mount Union still outscoring 26-8 points in the paint. Same thing, 52-52 possessions. Mount Union just executing on much better shots and doing a whole lot more things to push in transition. Both teams really the same on turnovers, really the same on assists. Still a very even game. Just all of a sudden, Mount Union in this third quarter started shooting at a much higher percentage than Capital. Capital kind of slowed down a little bit, and that's props to coaching and how they're defending the screens and how they're rotating down to help in the drive. It's forcing them to shoot the ball, and that's, you know, all game long. You're not going to be shooting from the three-point line at 40-45%. So a really good job by Mount Union's coach to really force this adjustment. And quite frankly, on the other end, Capital, what they needed to do coming out of the half is stop that points in the paint, and it has been nothing but worse here to start this second half. So a big adjustment for Capital coming into this fourth. 12-point game, not even close to over yet, but Mount Union's definitely got some momentum leading into this fourth.
Yeah, that's for sure. Some big plays in that third quarter definitely gives Mount Union the momentum for the moment, but I agree, definitely anybody's ball game still here as Day-Day Nash has it for the Raiders to open this fourth quarter. She gives it up to Emma Cannon on the perimeter. Cannon now with it. She swings it over to Madison Hensley. Hensley will now swing this over to Haywood, as Haywood will now give it up to Emma Cannon. 10 seconds on the shot clock here now as Day Day Nash swings it over to an open. Hensley steps into a three. It's nothing but net. Madison Hensley makes it 63-48. It's now 12 points for Madison here on her senior night, as Comets will see if they have a response here. Dugood will swing this out on the perimeter to O'Connor. She fires up a floater and the bank is open. Bree O'Connor, 22 points now in this one. It's at the other end. Michaela Dunkel pushes the pace now for the Raiders. Kicks it out to Hensley. Does she have another one in her? That one's no good. Rebound to the Comets. Demi Brewer now looks to push the pace for Capital. She swings it over cross court to O'Connor. Steps into a three. That one's no good. Rebound Madison Hensley. Hensley pushes the pace now for the Raiders and will slow things down right in front of the bench here. Tries to feed it down low inside the Dunkel. That pass taken away though by Demi Brewer. Brewer gives it up to Perkins, who's ahead of the pack now for the Comets. She draws the double team. And Perkins will now swing this out, but it's a traveling violation going on Samari Perkins. Ball goes back to the Raiders. So 8:36 left to go in this fourth quarter. Mount Union on top 63-50. The two seniors, Emma Cannon and Madison Hensley, lead the way with 16 points and 12 points respectively. Day Day Nash with 11 here so far for the Raiders. Is Madison Hensley now with it. She swings it over to Haley Haywood. Haywood feeds it down low inside to Dunkel. Great entry feed. Dunkel gets the layup to go. It's an and one upcoming for the freshman.
Capital just cannot stop this inside offense. And that is O'Connor's fourth foul here. One more and their leading scorer is out with still 8 minutes to play. Down 15. That's going to be really big for Mount Union. If you're looking at that, take it at her all day long.
That's for sure, as Dunkel completes the three-point play, makes it 66-50 Mount Union. As O'Connor now with it at the other end. Tries to feed it down low inside to Perkins. Perkins kicks it back out. Now back over to O'Connor. Steps into a three and gets it to drop. 25 points now for Bree O'Connor.
If there's anybody that's going to bring them back, it's her right there.
It's a sophomore guard from Hilliard, Ohio. Once again showing why she's the leading scorer in the OAC this season. Haley Haywood will now give it up to Day Day Nash. Tries to feed it down low inside the Dunkel, but it's taken away by Demi Brewer. Brewer now will drive into the paint here. A great move by Brewer. She gets to the rim for two. It's 66-55 Mount Union. So Day Day will have it now for the Raiders. She gives it up to Haley Haywood. Haywood puts it on the floor, looks to drive, draws the whistle as that foul is going on Lainey Murphy. It's going to be Murphy's third personal foul, second team foul of the quarter. Audrey Livesay, Sierra Schlosser check back in here for the Purple Raiders. As for Capital, it'll be number 21, Maddie Weiland, checking back in. So Hensley inbounds it here to Day Day Nash. Now gives it up to Hensley. Hensley with a nice pass down low inside to Emma Cannon. Goes up for the layup, can't get it to drop. Rebound to O'Connor. Capital looking to trim the lead back down to single digits here now as Demi Brewer with it. Takes a screen from Perkins. Try to get it back over to Perkins, but it's knocked out of her hands. Perkins does indeed come up with the loose ball. She gives it up now to Murphy. Murphy steps back, gives it up to Weiland. They move the ball around the perimeter back to Brewer now. As Brewer looks to drive on Nash, goes up for the contested mid-range and gets it to drop.
Tough bucket.
66-57. Susie Vanette will take a timeout here, a wise one, as Capital, after going down 16, is in the midst of a 7-0 run. Just cut the deficit down to 9.
Yeah, you got to really minimize this this kind of run Capital is going on. You know, times one and down, they're going to be putting up a lot of shots that maybe they wouldn't put up in a normal offensive set. So really got to prepare for that. Really got to understand that when they're making mistakes, you have to capitalize, score in transition, score off the fast break, offensive rebounds, whatever you need to do. Defense is going to be really key, though, here. You know, you can score so many points, but if you let up so many points either. So You got to stop number 23. That's all I know. 25 points, and she's had a lot to do with this run here that's coming up. I think she's got 8 of their last 10. Really something that Mount Union needs to shut down here in the next 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's for sure. Bree O'Connor, like how Brennan mentioned there, 25 points. She has not taken a break here tonight as well. She has not exited the game for Capital. So just an incredible game so far for O'Connor. She's really helping keep Capital in this one as Livesey will give it up to Day Nash here out of the timeout. Nash now looks to drive, goes up for the layup.
It was!
It's a drop-in and one indeed. Day Nash, another strong take, draws the personal on Demi Brewer.
Day Nash hit the weight room this week. I think that's her 3rd one.
As Day Nash has got 13 points now in this one, looking for point number 14 here at the free throw line.
She might be the smallest on the court, but not when she's driving.
That's for sure as Nash hits the free throw, makes it 69-57 Mount Union. Nash continues a great sophomore season for her this year. As at the other end, O'Connor steps into another 3 and knocks it down once more. Bree O'Connor, 28 points now.
She's about ready for a 30 bomb.
69-60 in favor of the Purple Raiders. As Madison Hensley gives it up, Day Nash. Nash swings it over cross court to Cannon. It's tipped out of bounds, however, by O'Connor. Will remain Purple Raider basketball. As for O'Connor, she's now hit 5 3-pointers in this one. She's 9 for 15 overall from the floor, 5 for 8 from the 3-point line. As Day Nash now with it. She takes a screen from Audrey Livesey. Now looks to drive, kicks it out to Hensley. Hensley pump fakes, drives into the middle of the paint, fires up a floater, can't quite get it to go. A rebound here, and it's a whistle going on Emma Cannon. As that's going to be Cannon's 2nd personal foul, 1st team foul of the quarter. Ball heads back to the Comets. So 5:49 left to go in this one. Raiders have led for the majority of this second half. But the Comets looking to make a furious comeback here as Demi Brewer now with it, gives it up to Murphy. Back over to Brewer. Brewer takes a screen now from Perkins, looks to drive on Nash, goes up with the floater, can't quite get it to drop. Great hustle by O'Connor, but it's in the hands of Madison Hensley. Hensley gives it up to Emma Cannon, who's ahead of the pack on the fast break, goes up for the layup, can't quite get it to drop. Rebound to the Comets. Demi Brewer now with it, a great pass down low inside to Perkins on the break. She can't finish. Rebound to Livesey. And Sierra Schlosser will now give it up to Day Nash. Nash will slow things down for the Raiders. Nash will now give it up to Emma Cannon. Cannon swings it up top to Livesey. Livesey gives it up to the cutter in Day Nash. She swings it out to Emma Cannon. 5 seconds on the shot clock as Cannon puts up the layup. Can't get it to drop. Rebound to the Comets. 4:47 left to go in this one. Lainey Murphy now with it. She takes a screen from Perkins. Looks to drive into the paint. Goes up for the layup. Gets it to drop. It's 69-62 Mount Union.
Gotta end the drought.
It's a 12-3 scoring run for Capital. Susie Vanette's going to take a timeout here with 4:29 left to go in this 4th quarter. The Raiders still hanging on to that 69-62 lead, but BK, you kind of just talked about it. Mount Union in a little bit of a drought right now, of course, compared to how they've been shooting all throughout the game. What can they do offensively to really get themselves out of this offensive funk?
Offensively, I think it's tough. I think Capital's playing some really good defense. Honestly, I think we've been taking some pretty good shots throughout the last 2.5 minutes. That's not the problem. The problem is Bree O'Connor has been shooting pretty wide open. I haven't seen a double team on her all night long. I haven't seen us or Mount Union deny her the ball either. If I'm coach and I'm weighing through my options, I'm Susie Vanette right now. I'm going, whoever is on her, you are denying her the ball 24/7. She is not touching it. Do not let it. Nobody else has scored on this team other than her in the last 5 minutes. She's been putting on airs. I mean, realistically, she's the one scoring all their points, and if not, it's not her. It's because you're so worried about her. So, got to shut down O'Connor.
That's for sure. As Allie Hudick, Bailey Shutson, Michaela Dunkel check in for the Raiders at that last stoppage in play. Hudick nearly has her pass taken away here by the Comets, but she will maintain possession. She gives up to Madison Hensley with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Haley Haywood now with it. She gives it up to Dunkel. Dunkel steps into a 3 at the top of the key. Can't quite get it to drop. Rebound to Perkins. Comets looking to trim the lead down just a little bit more here once more as O'Connor once again steps into an open 3. This time it's short. Rebound to Michaela Dunkel, and Dunkel draws the whistle here. That foul going on Lainey Murphy for her 3rd personal foul, 4th team foul of the quarter.
See, like, that's just not something that you can allow to happen. That she's shooting 65% from 3 at the moment, and you just let her have a wide open 3. I mean, a lucky break she missed, but you're only up 5.
As a near turnover there from Allie Hudick as that pass was tipped out of bounds by Brewer. Will remain Purple Raider basketball here. As Schutza will walk it up the floor. Schutza will give it up to Madison Hensley, now over to Allie Hudick. Hudick gives it up to a cutter in Schutza, down low inside. Schutza looks to go to work, goes up for the layup, can't get it to drop. Rebound to Brewer. Comets again looking to trim into this lead here. As up top to Lainey Murphy. Murphy takes a screen from O'Connor, now swings it over to Perkins. Perkins puts it on the floor, looks to drive, and Samari Perkins gets to the rim. It's a 69-64 Mount Union lead. A whistle, and we're going to have a timeout coming here for the Comets with 3:20 left to go in this one. As just a few minutes ago, the Raiders were on top 66-50, but it's a 14-3 run now for Capital.
Honestly, the answer to our scoring drought is to give the ball to Madison Hensley inside and just let her work. I mean, honestly, you're coming up with 2 good options out of the 3. Either she's scoring a point, getting fouled, or maybe she misses. But your chances of it going in are about 85% from 3 feet away, and they haven't been able to stop it all game. I'm looking at these statistics right now, points in the paint, 30-16. You got 30 of your 69 in the paint. It's time to keep doing that. And towards the other end, I know we keep talking about it, but how are you going to let Bri O'Connor keep catching the ball? You got 3 minutes to defend. Deny her all day long. Make somebody else do it. Because Bri O'Connor will beat you, but will somebody else? That's the question that you want to paint if you're Susie Vanette right now. I know we keep talking about it, but nothing's happening in terms of switching something up to stop her. She's got dang near 30 points. It's time to start denying the ball.
Yeah, that's for sure. We'll see what adjustments are made here for the Purple Raiders out of the timeout, as it will be Mount Union basketball here with 3:20 left to go in this one. As Emma Cannon will re-enter the contest for the Purple Raiders at that last stoppage in play. So it'll be Bailey Schutza, Allie Hudick, Haley Haywood, Emma Cannon, and Michaela Dunkel out there for the Purple Raiders. As Hudick brings it up the floor now for Mount Union. A 5-point lead for the Raiders as Haywood will now swing it back over to Hudick. Now over to Michaela Dunkel on the perimeter. Dunkel now puts it on the floor, looks to drive, kicks it out to Hudick on the perimeter. Hudick now dribbling around, gives it up to Schutza, who pump fakes, drives, picks up her dribble, swings it out to Haywood for the 3. Not quite. A rebound there to Murphy. Demi Brewer now pushes the pace as Capital can make this a 1-possession ball game with the score here. It's Lainey Murphy now back over to Brewer. Brewer takes a screen now from Weiland, picks up her dribble. Now swings it back over to Weiland, steps into a 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Tipped out of bounds, they'll say it's last off Emma Cannon. Ball will remain here with the Comets. 2:30 left in this one, 20 seconds on the shot clock as Day Nash, Madison Hensley check back in for the Raiders. So the starting 5 for both squads out on the floor right now. It's the inbound here to O'Connor. She hands it right back off to Demi Brewer. Brewer now back to O'Connor. O'Connor will be defended by Emma Cannon. Now swings it over to Murphy. Murphy back over to O'Connor. O'Connor draws the double team momentarily. Now looks to drive. Crosses over, goes inside, goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go. Great defense by Haywood, who comes away with the rebound. Emma Cannon now on the break, looks to go up for the layup, gets it to go. It's 71-64 Raiders.
My God, they needed that.
It's now 18 points for Emma Cannon. Bri O'Connor now with it. She swings it over cross court to Murphy. Murphy steps into a 3, can't get it to go. Rebound, Day Nash. Under 2 minutes to go here at the MAC. Nash is just going to walk things up give it up to Cannon. Cannon feeds it down low inside the Dunkel, and she gets the layup to drop.
There it is.
73-64, the Raiders continue their dominance in the paint here this afternoon. So Connor now looks to drive, goes up for the layup, and it's an and one. My, oh my, what a layup there by Bri O'Connor. She's got 30 points now in this one, looking for point number 31 at the charity stripe.
It's tough to guard. I mean, you know, you're looking for answers all night long, and sometimes the answer is it's just better offense. That is the definition of a tough bucket.
Yeah, that's been the case so far this afternoon, as O'Connor does indeed now have 31 points in this one. It's 73-67 Mount Union with a minute 25 left to go in this one. It's Emma Cannon now with it. She will take a screen from Michaela Dunkel. Now gives it up to Madison Hensley. Hensley swings it over to Haley Haywood. Haywood on the perimeter. Feeds it down low inside to Dunkel. Dunkel can't complete the catch, however, so it's turned over back to the Comets. A minute 4 left to go now at the MAC. Comets need a quick basket here as Murphy looks to drive, goes up for the layup. Can't get it to go. A whistle, it's an offensive foul. Lainey Murphy can't believe it, as that'll end her night. But Michaela Dunkel draws the whistle, and the ball's going back to the Purple Raiders. Murphy fouls out with 10 points in this one as Jenna Horsley checks back in, but what a play there by the freshman Michaela Dunkel to step in there, absorb the contact, and draw the offensive foul.
Still, I'll never understand why charges are not a statistic. It is such a momentum shifter.
That's for sure, as the Capital Comets will come out here with a press. As Day Nash is able to break that press for the Raiders, and she's just going to pull things out here momentarily. And Samari Perkins will be called for the foul here. And that's going to send Day Nash now to the free throw line as it's a penalty situation. Samari Perkins picks up her 4th personal foul. So it's not over yet, but Day Nash can help the Raiders out here a lot with 2 free throws. Nash's first free throw is up and rims out. Score will remain 73-67 with 50 seconds left to go in this one. Day-Day's second free throw is up and good. 74-67 Mount Union. It's Ali Hudik checks back in now for Mount Union. And we're going to have a timeout coming here from the Comets. So they will have 1 remaining after this, but the Purple Raiders on top 74-67, 50 seconds remaining here at the MAC.
See, I'm curious why this Capital press came so late. I would have been pressing at 3:50 left probably. I understand you got a lot of girls in foul trouble. You probably don't necessarily want to. I mean, you got 3 girls. One's fouled out, one's got 4, and the other's got 4. Pressing can be a very aggressive play. You can foul a lot in presses trying to make plays happen, but there comes to a certain point where you're down 7, 8, 5, 6, whatever it might be, with a certain amount of time left. You got to start making them make mistakes. Clearly they're going to score on offense, so it's time for them to turn the ball over. Maybe you get some extra possessions here down the stretch.
Yeah, that's for sure. We'll see what the Comets are able to dial up here on offense, and then surely they will be coming out with the press. Whether it's a make or miss here as Bri O'Connor will now give this up to Horsley. Horsley puts it on the floor, looks to drive baseline. A nicest pass down low inside the Weiland. She can't hit the layup. Kicks it out to O'Connor, who steps into a 3, and it gets the bounce off the rim and in. O'Connor with 34 points now in this one, as the press does come from the Comets, and Emma Cannon is going to be fouled here in the backcourt by Demi Brewer. 33 seconds left in this one. Cannon heads back to the free throw line for 2.
I'm just going to say it. How does she get that open to shoot a 3 with 35 seconds left on the game? That is the only person on the floor that you should be guarding right now.
The 6th three-pointer for Bri O'Connor, as Emma Cannon's first free throw is no good. Score will remain 74-70 with 33 seconds left to go in this one. Looking to split the pair now here is Emma Cannon. And that free throw is good. 75-70, Susie Vanette. Or no, correction, it'll be Capital using their final timeout here. So with 33 seconds left to go in this one, it's 75-70 Mount Union and BK. The game plan is surely, I would hope at least, get the ball out of Bree O'Connor's hands. That's for sure on this next offensive possession.
I don't know how many times I got to sit up here and say it. I mean, you need to double her, deny her the ball, everything. If there is anything right now, if you play an ounce of help while you're guarding her, like, I don't even know what else to say to you. There needs to be nothing, no space for Jesus between you and her. I'm going to say it right now. What is she shooting right now? 6 for 9 from the three-point line. You're up. They need a 3 at some point. Up 5. They're not going to do this in 3 possessions. They're going to try to do this in 2. Emma Cannon's guarding her. I don't want to see her move off. You got to be glued through screens, everything.
As O'Connor receives the inbounds pass here out of the timeout. Now swings it over to Weiland, who steps into a 3. That one's short. Rebound goes to Horsley. Extra possession here now for the Comets with 23 seconds left to go. O'Connor's going to draw the whistle on there. That's okay, as Cannon's going to have her 3rd personal foul. It's a non-shooting foul. It's just the 3rd team foul of the quarter. So 23 seconds left to go in this one. It's an out of bounds now for the Comets. The inbound here now to O'Connor. As O'Connor looks to drive, picks up her dribble, gives it up to Brewer, steps into a 3. It's no good. Offensive rebound, Maddie Weiland, and Weiland will draw the whistle on the putback. 15 seconds left to go in this one. It's a foul going on Haley Haywood for her first, team's 4th, and that will send Weiland to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, got an offensive rebound as well. It's they're going to be crashing the boards really hard, not worried about any transition defense. So.
Weiland's first free throw is up and good, 75-71.
And I think Susie Vanette recognizes that, about to check in her 6'1" freshman.
Weiland's second free throw is up and good, 75-72. And it's just a chess match at this point, as after 2 timeouts from Capital, Susie Vanette will use one of her 2 remaining timeouts here with 15 seconds left to go. Likely to substitute in, you would think, Michaela Dunkel here in this situation. But 15 seconds left to go in this 4th quarter. Raiders holding on to a 3-point advantage.
This is something that you work on all week, every day after sprints. You're going into the free throw line, and both teams shooting at exponential rates tonight. Mount Union at 81.3, Capital at 84.6, just 13 of 16 and 11 for 13. So both teams shooting at a very high free throw percentage. Not a good statistic if you're Capital, a great statistic if you're Mount Union. There is, of course, the announcer's curse. I could be talking when we walk up and miss 2. You never know. But a good look if you're Mount Union. Get it to your best free throw shooter. Make this another 2-possession game. And if you can successfully go to the line right now, inbound the ball, go to the line, hit both, you should be able to come out with a victory here. A 5-point lead, a 2-possession game with only 15 seconds left. Capital's going to really have to make some plays if they want to come out with this.
An even more interesting thing to really think about, Samari Perkins as well as Bree O'Connor, they have 4 personal fouls. So in this situation, often inbounds, do you target whoever they're guarding and then they have no choice but to foul? Would that be a good strategy to potentially have?
You know, that didn't even come in my brain. That is the best strategy to have. You need to find whoever is those 2 are guarding and make them foul out. Matter of fact, find who Bree O'Connor is guarding and give them the ball.
As here off the inbound, Haley Haywood, a near 5-second call, and Susie Vanette couldn't get the timeout in time, and it's a 5-second call indeed.
That is massive for Capital.
That is probably the last possible thing that you could have happen for the Raiders, and with 15 seconds left to go now, Capital has a chance to tie things up with a 3-ball. As Brewer gives it up to O'Connor. O'Connor now steps back, gives it up to Brewer, steps into a 3, and she gets fouled on the 3-point attempt. It's a foul going on Day-Day Nash. Nash is going to pick up her 3rd personal foul, 15th foul of the quarter. And Demi Brewer, 3 big free throw attempts upcoming here to try to tie things up.
A lot of pressure right now, a whole lot of pressure right now.
First free throw is up and good, 75-73, 2 more coming now for Brewer. Capital is stormed back, trailing by 16 at the beginning part of this 4th quarter. Brewer knocks down the 2nd, 75-74. Raiders still with one timeout remaining. And this is the big one here from Demi Brewer. This free throw is up, and it's no good. A rebound here to Emma Cannon. Cannon is going to be fouled by Samari Perkins with 6.7 seconds left to go. My, oh my. Emma Cannon's going to the free throw line for 2 shots. Perkins fouls out here as well. Rainey Thigpen checks back in for the Comets.
And what a way for Emma Cannon to go out tonight if she can knock both these down and really not secure a win, but secure at least a you have to tie moment in a desperation 3 with only 6 seconds left. In my opinion, have to hit both. Have to.
Cannon's first free throw is up, and it's good. Emma Cannon now with 20 points here this afternoon. It's 76-74. Again, Capital with no timeouts remaining. Mountain Union still has the 1 remaining. As Cannon gets ready for her second free throw attempt, and it is good. 77-74. Susie Vanette will elect to use that timeout. So with 6.7 seconds left to go, it's 77-74, and you just said it, BK. Find Bree O'Connor. That is definitely the strategy I would think here for the Raiders.
It's going to be the strategy for both Capital and Mount Union. Where is Bree Connor right now? Because, I mean, you're looking at 34 points, very high shooting percentage from 3. I mean, if there's anybody you want to put up that prayer, it's her. And quite frankly, if I'm Mount Union, I might sell out with a double team to make somebody else hit that 3, because you know she's going to step into that with confidence no matter what. And if she gets that shot up, you're holding your breath. I'm holding my breath. So in the end, it's going to be a very interesting way to see how Camille McPherson draws this play up.
And it's definitely important to note here, too, especially from what we just saw on the defensive end for the Purple Raiders. You got to make sure you don't foul on that three-point attempt as well. That's definitely the last possible thing that you want to have happen in this situation, as it's definitely a desperation 3-time for Capital. They're going to have to go the length of the court here, fire up a three-point attempt with 6.7 seconds left to go. Raiders just one more defensive possession, they can clinch this one. So it'll be Demi Brewer getting set to inbound it here. The Raiders will, of course, apply pressure in the backcourt.
No way they're leaving her open to catch this. No way.
O'Connor does indeed receive the inbounds pass. 4 seconds left to go. O'Connor looks to weave her way through the defense, gives out to Brewer, steps into a 3. It's off the backboard, no good, and the Raiders hang on. What a job by Mount Union. It wasn't pretty in this fourth quarter, as Capital made a furious comeback that the Raiders prevail 77-74, and their 5-game losing streak here on senior night. What a way for the Raiders to come away with a thrilling victory.
And honestly, just an all-out victory by Mount Union. They played their hearts out at every moment of every way. They led this game for most of it. I'm just really glad to see that they could pull it out here, especially on senior night for Gretchen. For the girls who didn't play, Gretchen, I mean, Emma Cannon really showed out. This is just an all-around really good game for the Mount Union squad. Shot well, played well, really solid defense, shot at high percentages, great looks, great coaching game plan. Just really outplayed for their final game of the season. Really happy for the seniors tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure, as the Raiders come away with the 77-74 victory. They were outscored 26-17 in the fourth quarter, but a win is still a win for the Purple Raiders. Of course, again, congratulations on great careers for Gretchen Koken, Emma Cannon, as well as Madison Hensley, as Emma Cannon led the way with 21 points here this afternoon. Madison Hensley with 12 points for the Purple Raiders, as Mount Union will be back in action on Wednesday, as they will be traveling to Muskingum to take on the Muskies. Then, of course, their regular season finale will be next Saturday, where they will be playing host to the Otterbein Cardinals. But a great way here on senior night to come away with a thrilling victory. Mount Union 77-74 over the Capital Comets. So for my partner, Brennan Kearns, I'm Jacob Attar signing off here from the MAC. And as always, it's a great day to be a Purple Raider.